Morning and welcome to another new week. For me, it gets off to a good start in that the Gospel reading appointed for today is the beginning of the Sermon on the Mount, the Beatitudes, which I see as the heart of the teaching of Jesus. And Helen's going to read Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 to 12.
The Beatitudes. Now when he saw the crowds, he went up on the mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him and he began to teach them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they are comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets who went before you.
Over the years, I must have prepared dozens of sermons on that passage. I can't do justice to it in a few minutes now, so I just offer a reflection on the key word, blessed. That's the word that brings them all together. Blessed are the poor in spirit, blessed are those who mourn, blessed are the meek, etc. And it's used 9 times here. Now, in the English language, blessed is mainly a religious word. It's used a lot in church circles. But in the language that Jesus actually spoke, Aramaic, and in the Greek used by the New Testament writers to tell us what he said, it's a much more everyday word. In Greek, it's the word makarios, the normal word for happy, fortunate. If you see a child playing contentedly, you would say the child is makarios, happy, having a lovely time. If you see a wedding, you could say makarios, the happy couple. And when you see photos in holiday magazines showing people on beaches or at tourist sites, always smiling, always slim and tanned, but that's another story, they are makarios. They are having a good time. They're happy. It's a very ordinary word. And Jesus uses to describe what his followers can be, happy people. But he uses this ordinary word in extraordinary ways. It doesn't mean that Christians are constantly smiling. Rather, he says, happiness is deeper than that. It's in our hearts as we follow him. And he picks on some surprising things to make us happy. Things that the world today might consider negative. Poor in spirit, by which he means those who know their need of God each day. Those who mourn, those who can sympathize with others. The meek, those who are modest, not arrogant. As well as some other thoughts that are positive but difficult. The merciful, offering the grace of God to all, whoever they are. The peacemakers, genuinely seeking the good of the world, and very important at the moment as we see so much division, especially on racial grounds. Even being insulted, not easy. These are tough callings, but Jesus says they are all worthwhile as they bring real happiness, happiness in the heart. It is a down-to-earth experience, but it's also very special. And he describes it in different ways. Happiness is the kingdom of heaven, its comfort, its fulfillment, it's seeing God. And people who try to follow Jesus faithfully are not guaranteed an easy time. We will all know sadness. But if we try to live in his spirit by being modest, merciful, peacemakers, aware of God's presence, then we can be makarios, happy, fortunate, blessed, in a good place. I close with some words of a hymn, which is really a prayer about seeking happiness. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me show your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, true faith in you. O Master, grant that I may never seek so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. Where there's darkness, only light. And where there's sadness, ever joy. Amen. Have a blessed, happy week.